the chains. The answer's always very clear. When the guilty is to blame, I'm moving mountains, oh can't you see? I won't stop till you surrender. I won't stop until I'm free. The past, it will find you. Unveil your face of shame, haunting and reminding that the truth remains. Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. I am the warrior, I am the change. I've been hiding in the shadows, waiting for your judgment day. Rest assured, you're to blame. You can't walk through the lake of fire without feeling the heat of the flame. In a picture perfect world full of masquerades, disguising and hiding, but the truth remains. Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. You got a reason to follow my lead, so hold on to me, stand up. You got a reason to follow my lead, so hold on to me and stand up. You got a reason to follow my lead, so hold on to me and stand up. You got a reason to follow my lead, now hold on to me and stand up. Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Oh, I can feel it burn, 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 but I won't go back again. Oh, I can feel it burn, 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 but I won't go back again. Problems that are rising. You've walked too far out into the sea, and now you're drowning, kicking and screaming. And now you want it from me. You think it's just that easy for me to throw out your lifeline so you can be free. I'm not angry, I'm just saying it's not right, not for you and for me. I'm just waiting to escape this, then you drag me back down in the deep. Where'd you lay your head all alone down here, waiting for someone to save you? You've pushed me too far and now you can't see that I'm drowning, kicking and screaming. And now you want it from me. You think it's just that easy for me to throw out your lifeline so you can be free. I'm not angry, I'm just saying it's not right, not for you and for me. I'm just waiting to escape this, then you drag me back down into the place where you came from. No one else to lean on. You can't blame the ones who walk on when they turn their feels I'm aware what really goes on.
Well, hello, all you people who've been very, very patient with these teams while we've been waiting for them. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. How you doing, Prof?
I am doing well. We have ourselves a spicy old game tonight.
Yeah, I think that could be a fair assessment of it. Usually we wouldn't go live this early because it sometimes takes the players still a long time to actually ready up or whatever. But I thought since you guys have had to wait so long already, let's just go live, let's talk nonsense, and hopefully they do actually start quickly. I do believe some kind of issue with the veto, so they had to actually do it now instead of prior, which is the usual sort of way to do it. So
yeah,
did cause a slight delay for us.
Yeah, but I mean, we are live now. Well, soon to be live. 8 players on server, 1 missing from each team. It'll actually be... Who is that? Hackham and Black... No, Black Poison is here. Lexi.
Yeah, I see he's actually...
Lexi and Hackham.
He's there, actually.
Oh, yeah, he's sitting on the Goliath side. Oh, whoopsie.
Indeed. So, of course, if you guys have just joined us, thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient. It's ESEA Season 27 Open in South Africa. It's the second semi-final. Yesterday we saw the first semi-final. You can find the VOD on the channel if you want to go back and watch most of it, because the third server, GoTV, decided to break, so we didn't get that one, but it was XTC versus Sinister 5. Sinister 5 doing away with XTC making it to their first final, which is pretty big news. And the other thing you also got to consider is they did actually beat Goliath in the stages of the regular season here as well.
That they did. I mean, they beat Goliath on Goliath's permaban, so there is that. Or is it their permaban? I don't know. They've been constantly banning Mirage, but Energy actually got hold of it tonight, so that's an interesting decision by the Goliath Gaming side.
Yeah, interesting. So take us through the veto. Give us your thoughts.
Like I said, it's a bit odd. Goliath has tended to ban Mirage early, and this time they haven't, so they actually banned out Cash. I mean, again, it's an incredibly potent Energy map. Energy then bans Nuke. I mean, that's standard South African things, I guess. Nobody really plays Nuke outside of DC, and they are no longer with us, unfortunately. So, okay. Goliath then picks Nuke. I mean, sorry, not Nuke. They pick up Inferno, which is what seems to be the map that they've been gravitating towards. It's an interesting one. I mean, a lot of South African teams and a lot of teams in the world at large have tried making it their main, but it hasn't always worked out. Like, still, no teams really figured out the CT side on it with any real sort of consistency. So there is that. Mirage, of course, that is an old Black Poison favorite and one where he will particularly dominate the middle area if you allow him to. So that, I think, is probably Energy home territory right there. And then Goliath bans our train. Now, we do know that their train looked pretty shoddy the other day, and you can clearly see why they don't want any of that against an Energy team that eventually made train one of, if not their best map against the likes of Bravado. So train, I think, is definitely stay clear territory. And finally, then we got to Cobble with an overpass ban there. So, I mean, Cobble, I think, is a bit more middle ground. I would favor Energy on it. Again, it's another map that they've been very, very potent on when they've been on their game. Overpass, I mean, the only team that really plays Overpass with any regularity is Big Five. The other teams will dabble in it, but it's not something that they'll go to, you know, they won't pick that map if they can. So, I think we've got a pretty good series overall. Inferno has deemed to be Energy's weakness in recent times. Of course, we don't know a lot about Energy because they haven't played a lot this year either. So it's a tricky situation. These teams haven't played a lot against each other, although Energy did lose to Goliath and Goliath lost to Sin 5. So nice little bit of a change up we've seen this year.
Yeah, very much so. So to answer the question there, Trip, are we going to try and cast the BVD game at 9? I only found out about the BVD game at 9 because Sonic tweeted about it 10 minutes before we went live, so probably not. If we don't know about it with any advance warning, it's pretty impossible. Particularly with ESL games, it's hard to get the IP. It's not freely available, so you have to apply, and if you don't ask them in time, they won't answer you. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Would have actually loved to, but in this case, maybe we make an exception, don't do Bravado, even if we had the choice, because this is, of course, a semi-final. It's a little bit more important than the average game. But I don't know, people would probably argue with me, because Bravado's game also isn't an average game either. It's a possibility to get to the Belo Horizonte closed qualifier, which is actually quite a big thing too. Hard choice. We didn't have a choice, but if there was, it would have been a hard one.
And the one thing that can be said about the team that Bravado is playing in a little while is that team actually removed Team 1, which seems to have been Bravado's nemesis in America at the moment. So
scary.
Yeah,
if they beat Team 1, who let's be fair, did put some pain on Bravado, they could potentially be quite good.
They could be. They could be. I mean, they haven't beaten a couple of other teams that Bravado has. So, I mean, we will never know. As it is, Energy and Goliath will be going head-to-head in a game of stabbing each other, and GG comes out ahead. So, should be a pick onto the CT side here, which is the standard starting side for anyone that can pick.
You would imagine so, right? There are those crazy teams like NIP who used to take T side because it's like, no, we got to get our aim warm. But no, don't do that. Goliath Gaming versus Energy, Season 27 ESEA Open South Africa semi-final, second semi-final. The winner goes on to play Sinister 5 in the grand final, and of course, this is the first map of a best of 3. For all you people who are going to ask me whether it's a best of 3, it is. It's a best of 3.
The best of 3 for both of these teams' first spot in a ESEA final for at least 6 months. Both teams went out in the semi-finals last season, so it's all to play for.
Domster up close over here. Perfect flash coming in. He gets himself one and gets a free CZ for his effort. Hackham, well, if they decided to push him there, he might have been in a bit of trouble, but they decide to pull up the handbrake and stick around for a bit before pushing anywhere. Yeah,
this interesting decision to go with that CZ. I've seen quite a few teams do it. I'm not the biggest fan. I do think that the USP is probably good. Goals with a push, though, is going to catch Flexi, who's fallen into the pit and gotten his head popped. So some aggression from Goliath Gaming as Golds continues to do some huge damage here. Black Poison now going down. And if you want any player to stay alive, it is him. Tuckport gets another one. That'll be Golds going down. Black Poison chimes in. Deviant is now in the grave, and all of a sudden Goliath under some huge pressure here. It's a 4-on-1. What the hell am I saying? Neff, the last player, he does spot Black Poison. Takes a couple of shots. That was a probably heart and throat moment there, but he's still got a hell of a lot of work to do.
Jeez, he made hard work for himself on what should have been a pretty easy kill, but he does have a weapon here where he could potentially have picked Tuckbook off, but Tuckbook taking the smart decision there, deciding to back out. He's the P250 designated operator, shall one say, on their T side. Of course, always a good weapon to pick up. But
yeah, that's I think Golds' weapon that he actually picked up Golds'.
Oh yeah, you're right, he did actually. Yeah. But in this situation, Neff, I don't see it, man. He can get a kill or two, but I don't know. Are they going to really offer him more than a kill? No, they will not. Tuckbook tucks him in neatly, and that's the 1-0 for Energy CS here. Goliath Gaming will be on the save. Well, the force buy, shall we say. And well, one thing I can say for them on the force buys that we saw out of them the other night versus Elite Pro in the quarterfinal is that they're actually quite potent on the force buy just because of how aggressive they tend to be. So let's see how Energy deals with that, because Energy does quite similar things when they're on a force buy themselves.
Yeah, and Energy had to learn how to deal with force buys when playing against Bravado last year, so they should be well versed, but can always catch them out. CZs are still a notoriously potent weapon. Energy's gone for the less dangerous buy in terms of weaponry, but more utility. So maybe a bit of an execute here as they do go for 4 UMPs. It's an interesting decision. Not always you see that. Generally there's an MP9 thrown in somewhere, but Energy taking the safest course of action with the SMGs, I would say.
I think you mean a MAC-10, man.
No, that's a terrible gun.
I love it.
Either way, Goliath has stacked. Well, no, sorry, not stacked. They've decided to hang just with a default towards the A side. Energy is making their way towards that. As Energy, Canny and Domster just holding, and Hackham is going to push. They've spotted. Not enough damage there, but can convince Goliath the execute is coming towards the B side.
doing their very best at that. Massacre also doing his very best, popping off a shot there, but he doesn't find the headshot. And I like this from Deviant coming in behind on the quick rotate. Could potentially catch them. He just needs to speed up a bit here. Hackham, though, doing big work. He gets himself 2 and somehow escapes on the reload, and he's still alive somehow. Deviant coming in from behind. He gets 2 as well, and it's left to Tuckborg, the soul man, with the AK, but it's not to be. He gets put down, and I was just saying, they're potent on the force buy, and there it happened.
Yeah, Energy just getting absolutely mowed down on the entry there. Somehow the 2 players with CZs end up getting 2 kills each, and easy cleanup at the end there. But Energy just, I don't know, not checking all the corners. A little bit slow into the site as well, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. I mean, I didn't even see flashes. I don't know if they used any, but it didn't look like it. As Goliath Gaming picks up their first round of the match, and Energy will first buy, but the nades rain in, and Domster no longer part of this world. Neither is Deviant, as Canny takes his head off.
That is one thing with being that aggressive down mid, as Goliath like to do on this map. You can get caught off like that, and I wonder if Energy have actually watched them. If they should have, and they should be pretty aware that it's either going to be goals or Deviant running down mid occasionally when they're against the force buy.
Yeah, goals with another aggressive hold here. He's going to spot a player. Doesn't actually do any damage to him as the deagle shots do ring out. Flash will come through at the moment, and that is almost perfectly timed. He will get double peak though. Energy has been good with that, and they'll take out goals. So 3 versus 3. Goliath Gaming do pick up another one. Neff on that scout, able to pull things through. But in comes Massacre, and he is just farming money for days, as Energy are only able to bring down 2, and Goliath gets their second round.
Yeah, I got to say, in comparison to how dynamic Energy were on the pistol round, they've looked a little bit flat in the last couple.
Yeah, they have. I mean, that is the one thing that we were debating before the game went live, is Energy hasn't actually been super active in the South African scene. They were supposed to be playing through the ladder on VS. That hasn't really happened. Also didn't really play in a couple of the other leagues, so they've been quiet. Obviously there are rumors they're going overseas, and perhaps rumors of changing a player, but I mean, at this point it's all rumors, as goals could get caught out here. Double peak is going to cost him, as Black Poison puts the Glock to good use.
Shot him through the wall with a headshot as well with burst fire. I mean, that's kind of random. Black Poison on the angle there. Thought he could have maybe found the headshot, but it's not to be. He could maybe sting, and he does.
Yeah,
Pick up the AK.
Did you hear the sound of the pin being pulled? As Hackham now gets run down. Goliath Gaming making this an incredibly expensive round for themselves. Energy doesn't quite have a free run to the B bomb site, but Goliath has to make certain that it isn't a possibility anyway. They'll be sending Neff there. He's got a scout, and not necessarily the weapon you want to be running up against 2 players with weaponry. Deviant will push aggressively, as Energy for the second round in a row will go towards the B site.
Neff, the man rotating around. Yeah, he hears the bomb plant come in, and he could actually spam him to pieces here through the box, and he does. The coffin proves to be the coffin that Domster will be buried in this round.
Yeah, just too easy. I mean, we've seen a couple of changes there. I think it was Glaive from Astralis that's not quite pioneered, but certainly figured out a way that you can stand on top of the boxes and plant the bomb, and that spam can't actually come through, or it's much more difficult to actually spam through. So Goliath picks up their third, a very expensive third it was. At Energy, well, they'll be looking to hit back, and hit back fast, because they don't want Goliath to build up a CT economy here, and they certainly do not want Goliath to build up a bank of rounds.
Definitely 3-1 at this stage. The AWP in the hands of Canny. Interesting to see. Of course, Black Poison also pulls it out as well. Usually more often from what we've seen, but then again, we don't have much of a frame of reference of Energy lately. They've only been playing in ESEA this year, so hard to really do too much research on them outside of this championship. And Black Poison, he could find the timing here, and he does. He gets one before getting traded off there. He almost sprayed the second down as well. Hackham managing to escape there as the trade attempt comes in, and that's going to help out the T's here early on.
That is definitely going to help them out. 4 versus 4 obviously favors them. And some huge damage done to Hackham as well. He's the only player on B, so Goliath will have to probably shift a player over to help him, or at least spread their line a little bit thinner to cover some extra angles. And that does mean that Energy's got more space to work with, and it's definitely not a team you want to have space to work with at this point.
Indeed. So peeking up here through, just creeping along, hoping they're going to find a kill. And as Goliath should do, you know, on CT side, if you lose a player, you're probably going to split 2-on-2 on either side to try to hold it off with equal numbers, or you're going to gamble. But at this stage of the game, they haven't really seen enough of Energy to probably be in the business of gambling just yet. So it's going to be on these trades. And the problem is it's a scout. It's doing damage, but it hasn't killed anybody yet.
No, it hasn't, and it does look as though Kenny's lining up the shot. He's going to spot the first play. He's not going to land it, though. Neff actually kills Domster somehow. Must have hit Domster through the wall there. Hackham still lying in wait. He's going to be able to pick up an easy frag. They're not clearing out the site. Down goes Tuckbok. Flexi now has to make magic happen. He can't do it. Hackham gets another one. And this round is falling apart. Kenny, the last remaining player, he's got that AWP, but he is in a 1 versus 4, now a 1 versus 3. Can he do a little bit more? His position has been given up, so he's got to actually get aggressive here. He's going to spot Neff, he's going to nail Neff, and will in the end go down to Hackham. Do they recover the AWP? No, they do not. So Energy doing enough to keep the AWP out of Goliath's hands, but still a rough situation for them as it's now 4 rounds in a row to Goliath.
Again, a situation of not clearing the corners correctly on the site, and they had the time as well. It wasn't like they were running out of time at that point. They still had a good 30 seconds on the clock, but they just didn't clear the site. Hackham, they must have known he was somewhere around because, of course, Tuckbok dropped him down to 34 HP, but they never really looked for him. I guess maybe they assumed he was CT or something, but again, at this level, you can't afford those sorts of mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, Hackham just hiding in a little corner there. They didn't clear any of the corners. It just felt like they maybe checked first oranges and then second oranges at best. Didn't check family at all. So Hackham almost certainly just getting a free frag there. Actually getting the second one was the really big shutdown play. Energy needed to keep that second player alive and just left Canny all alone.
Yep, so thank you again to everybody who's joined. If you've not subscribed to the channel before, please do, because if you do, I will get a free food voucher for Spur.
You really want a free food voucher?
No, I don't. Please don't subscribe. No, I'm kidding. Please do subscribe. We would love your patronage, and we do love your patronage. Thanks for showing up, guys, here and supporting South African Counter-Strike, Goliath Gaming versus Energy CS ESEA. I was going to say Man Europe, and then I realized it's not Europe. It's South Africa, and it's the semi-finals, the second semi-final. Domster on a really nice angle here. Finds himself a goals, and again, they do have the knowledge that Goliath Gaming like to do that a lot. So they're going to look to punish it.
Yeah, and once again, Goliath losing that opening pick. Neff also gone down to very, very low HP. So Energy could be in business here. They do have Canny on nothing but a P250, of course, dying after time. He's left with absolutely $0 in the bank, but Energy have started off well. So they do have some assistance. No utility to get them through this round, though. So it's all headshots, and they certainly have dealt in those pretty effective in the last 6 to 7 months.
Yep, that's a pretty sharp comment there. Goals W key broken. Yeah, it's just what he likes to do on this map. And that's also what Hackham likes to do. Very clean headshot. He's a player with great natural aim. And that brings it back into the 4v4. But getting caught to the nade in hand, I think that's the second time that's happened.
That is indeed the second time it's happened. Goliath keep losing a player. They've actually rotated Massacre off there. So even getting that kill onto Tuckbok is pretty big right now. Flexi is going to be pushing in. And he's got a very colorful gun here. Does he spot Neff? He does indeed, and that means that Massacre is on the rotate. It's going to be a rough one, 2 versus 1. He does have one player with no armor to kill though, so slightly advantageous, but he needs to make certain that the kill, and this is a fiendish angle from Flexi as well. There's no way you suspect he's sitting at that spot.
You wouldn't think it's likely. Let's see what he does. Yeah, being very careful as Massacre, contrary to his usual sort of gung-ho style, and he's been spotted. And long range, the headshot coming in with the MP9. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Kenny known as a pretty solid aimer in South Africa, to say the least, and shows you can do it in an MP9 as well as the AWP and AK. And Goliath's money is actually in the bin. It's not great.
Well, the problem is, even in the rounds they've been winning, they've had, what, 2 players alive most of the time?
Yeah. I mean, really, really shanky. Oh,
is that a word? Come on, Prof, that's not a word.
Very, very shoddy, let's put it that way, sorry.
And Black Poison got knifed, as you said. What do you think he said to his teammates there to deserve that?
Something that's probably not very PC.
We can't repeat it, is that what you're saying?
No, we can't. Deviant and Massacre, well, they're good at catching grenades, and certainly not a pastime you want to engage in if you want to spend a long life. So, Deviant and Massacre, both down to below 50, and Hackham also copped a bit of a beating there, and Energy in a perfect position to continue building their economy. They certainly need to do it. B-side is not an easy one on this map, although you can build up a big bank of rounds if you control the CT economy.
Exactly, and all the damage has been dealt on both sides, and there's the kills coming in as well. Some nice clean headshots. That's going to make it a lot easier for them. 2 players on the B side, only 1 on the A to deal with, and that's a really low HP player as well. Domster playing the lurk here, but he's going to bug out, deciding he doesn't want any piece of that, and he's left a teammate behind just in case. But at this point, again, Energy playing really slow. They should know that they have control here, but taking no chances, which it's kind of in contrast. Again, in their pistol round, they played like this, and in subsequent rounds, they got sloppy.
Yeah, that they did. Black Poison now has been left to just mop up the remaining Goliath players. Energy actually pretty low on utility, although they have made good use of it, clearing out all their angles now, as Goliath Gaming will not find the chance. Just as I say that, Black Poison gets his head caved in by Hackham and a 50 cal, so you won't be too happy about that, but Hackham still got a big fight to win. I don't really agree with Energy pushing here. If they'd lost a couple of players, that does tank their economy a little bit. Goliath will be able to buy here. It's not going to be great, so they might actually... No, they will buy up here. They definitely will. Nef's already purchased, so Goliath will be all in on this round. Energy with the chance to really crack the Goliath Gaming economy, and if they can win this round, Energy is really in business. Probably up to 6, maybe even 7 rounds on the T side of Inferno buys you a lot of grace on that CT side.
Absolutely. It's a scary round if you look at what Goliath Gaming have available to them. 4-3. 1 is the gap, of course, so big possibility of danger here for actually for both sides. Even if you look at the Goliath, the Energy economy, they've won the rounds, but they're not out of the woods at all.
No, they're not. Hackham with a very aggressive angle. If he goes down here, they could have some huge problems, could Goliath. So that is the one thing. And I mean, Goliath does sort of remind me of SK with Phelps and Fur on that B site, where there would always be one of them pushing, and it ended up being a costly exercise for the SK Gaming players. Goliath, well, they do have incredibly aggressive players on that B site, but at the moment they're being held in check just in case Energy does decide to push through there.
So it looks like A might be the target here anyway for now. The bomb isn't there yet. They're sort of hedging their bets. Nade could reap a little bit of damage. No, actually doesn't. So bit of a failure. Another attempt, and again, Nade's not doing a lot there.
Not a whole lot of anything, as Goliath and Energy seemingly stand across the smoke at the B site, but Energy poking and prodding around A. They're going to leave a lurk at the A site. They've done quite enough here to actually convince Goliath that it should be coming A, and the hit should now go through Goliath. You can actually see the 2 players are holding in the gap, so they're quite convinced that it's going to be an A play, and they will not be in position for this hit. So Energy probably gets a free bomb site here, make certain that they clear all these sites out. Massacre up on the boost, hasn't spotted anybody, and will now be out, and he'll actually kill Black Poison as well as Dom. So that's a huge turnaround, but Flexi returns the favor through the smoke on Hackham, and now the late lurk from Canny comes out. Doesn't work out. That terrible gun of his costing him big. 2-on-4, Flexi and Tuckborg. They are pretty clutch players, but can they do it?
Yeah, I think that lurk needed to work. The fact that he didn't even get a single kill puts them under quite a bit of pressure in the bomb site take. They don't have any nades to work with, and they're not even going to get a kill for it. That's very comprehensive from Goliath Gaming, and that's going to extend their lead here slightly and help them out immeasurably. Look at that, 4 players alive. That helps the economy, and, well, Energy with the bomb plant might still have a buy, but, well, even there, they should have expected a player on that flower pot anyway. It's such a common position if the CT smoke is laid down. Yeah,
the one thing that Massacre did do very, very well there is he was pretty good at trigger control. Didn't actually take the shot until he had guy definitely inside. Got the second one luckily through the smoke, so you got to give him the first one at the very least. Although, I mean, Energy didn't really have much time, 30 seconds. Maybe you could have said, you know, execute at 45, but either way, Energy still have a decent economy going into this round, but won't have much of one after this. Goliath, though, will be quite happy with their win.
Ooh, I got a slight smoke glitch there for a second. I should go play matchmaking with us.
Please don't. You're a horrible human being if you do that. Either way, Massacre and Hackham, once again, keen on this banana control. Energy's done pretty good to contest the banana control, but this time giving it up fully to Goliath, and this will let Goliath know that Energy should be making the play towards A. Usually you'll have a player moving towards A by now from that B side. You can see Massacre's already on his way. Damage comes through as shots are traded through the smoke.
Oh, I can only imagine what's about to happen in chat. But anyway, Deviant the man under a little bit of pressure here. Flash coming in, actually flashing their own teammates, but they still get the kill. Their goals with the trade. Neff on a good angle, and somehow he doesn't win that. That was a pretty big kill to give away. And their unfortunately goal sold down the river then with his teammate going down. That's the bomb site in the hands of Energy. 2 players left alive here for Goliath, and, well, save. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Probably save time, yeah. You haven't had a great economy in the round. I mean, you won the last round, but you still don't want to take too many chances. Just make certain that you fire whatever you can. As 2 players alive, not really a winnable situation here. I mean, you got a feel for goals there. He's left sort of in no man's land. Nefon needed to hit that kill, just missed it, unfortunately. And that meant goals had to sort of, relocate, caught midway and gunned down by the Energy players. Energy up to 4 rounds now. And with this win, they'll be well on their way to another good set of rounds in the next couple.
Yeah, you'd think so. They're going to keep the 2 rifles, and the problem with 2 rifles, of course, is it's sort of a carrot that encourages you to try to buy weapons around them, which doesn't actually help your economy in the long run. Like Nip were famous for doing that under threat when he first came into the team as the in-game leader / coach, before the change in coach rules. And he was like, "Oh, don't hunt them. Just let them keep the guns because they're going to force around it, and that'll wreck the economy, and that'll make us win." And it's a very effective way to do things, actually.
Yeah, it's a way to keep control of the CT economy. As you can see, Neff gets shut down. Goliath has actually semi-forced into this. I don't think they've spent everything. Certainly have spent a lot. Black Poison. I mean, both players or teams.
Oh,
okay.
That
Poison
was
takes it. Yeah, tiny bit of damage there, but gets Hackham.
Makes it look easy. But hey, 12 HP, 23 HP on players on either side. Of course, Black Poison, the man getting aggressive, and he doesn't have to pay with his life, which is, of course, the important thing. If you're going to be aggressive like that, make sure you give yourself a way out.
Yeah, he did also have a refrag potential there from the teamies, so hitting the heady was fantastic, but probably would have gotten the second kill. Anyway, Goliath are banking on a 2-2 setup. Usually you will see them try, or teams just try on one site, and Flexi, well, it's no more one site, as it's one man, and that'll be Deviant, the old master. Can he do enough to keep Energy from attacking his site here?
Can I tell him you called him old?
I think he'll... I mean, he's played with DC. Anybody that's played with that team is ancient these days. As Domster executes Neff on there, and this means the Massacre has got a world of hurt to do. He's going to get 3. Does he get the 4th? No, he doesn't. But so damn close there. Tuckbork is the savior of Energy in this round, and they've got a player lurking through the CT side, so they know where Deviant is coming. He's got a grenade, and he's got a CZ. Both of them can kill any of the Energy players here. He's now picked up another weapon, but it doesn't matter. Energy and Canny are on the way to a 5th round, executing poor old Deviant.
Massacre there with a massive play, and we always see similar moments of brilliance out of him, but it just feels like they're not as consistent as one might like for somebody who is and was legitimately in the past developing into a star player. Yeah.
Massacre he exhibits the tendencies of a potential star player in that he's wildly inconsistent but a beast when he's on. As Goliath at this point, I mean, not looking great for them. Possibly could be losing the half here if Energy can string another couple of rounds together. They have Flexi on a UMP. Goliath has been very resistant to stacking either site here, even when they've been on 4 spies and all the rest. But
yeah,
Deviant goes down. Yeah,
that has been a mark of theirs. I don't recall seeing them doing much stacking in the previous game against Elite Pro either, which, you do want to, with the pistol, try to put yourself in a position to maybe get a kill, because just sort of defaulting it means it's really hard to trade compared to with rifles.
Yeah, Neff gets a kill on Canny, and once again Hackham on that Overwatch position gets the kill to Domster, but NG has made the play towards the A site, and have actually removed a player on B as well, so Energy, a little bit of 6s and 7s, can't quite make the decision. They don't spot a second player though, so they will have suspected that Hackham has actually moved away, but he is playing the long game. He's going to push aggressively. Could catch a player with a smoke in his hand. Does he get the timing correct? He does. He's going to be Flexi going down. Hackham, once again, doing whatever he can to keep his team in this game.
Trying his absolute best, and Auto Director trying its best to not get any of the action. The bomb does go down. Tuckbook escapes unscathed in terms of damage, and damage being dealt there by Black Poison. They know exactly where Hackham is as well. So they're going to double up here. And that was a rather nasty little fadeaway shot from Black Poison. Love watching those.
Yeah, popping heads is the energy captain at the moment. I mean, I will say the interesting thing is that he's actually decided to move away from the AWP this year. He was the primary AWPer for energy last year. Started as Canny, moved to Black Poison, and now it's moved back to Canny, it seems. I just think that Black Poison is a little bit more consistent on the AWP. Canny is a little bit more potent, but he's also a little bit more inconsistent. So I was a much bigger fan of Black Poison on the AWP than Canny.
We'll call him flamboyant in the French sense, I guess. Wildly inconsistent, but there's the man who is consistent. He just walks in and gets 2 entries for free.
Yeah, I have no idea how Goliath, both players were caught with grenades in their hands at that point. That was just spectacular. Goliath, how many times has that happened now? I mean, just energy consistently able to get the timings on the players with smokes in their hands.
Here we go.
Oh, dear Lord. Just as I say
Is that number 4 for Hackham now?
That's number 3 at the very least.
You can count better than I can, clearly, Mr. Accountant. There's another player with a nade in hand. What do we call this if this is what's happening the whole time? It's a bit of a strange round here. They should still get the bomb plant here and have a fairly free sight. That helps too with the Domster finding the kill. And for Deviant, probably not a good idea to be aggressive in any space on this map right now.
Deviant is going to take the most logical course of action, which is to save at this point. Energy going to get themselves to 7, quite likely 8 at this rate. And Goliath, I mean, this is their map pick. They cannot afford to give this map up to Energy because you're going to a map that you have lost to Sinister 5 in the next round, and it is Mirage. If there's one team you don't want to play in South Africa on Mirage, it's Energy right now. That is a map that they absolutely manhandled Bravado on the last time they played them on land. So Goliath, yeah, they need to figure something out quickly because the CT side is becoming a real problem. They never have money. They're constantly being caught with players just not in position, and Energy is reaping the rewards big time of a very aggressive set of plays, but also some magnificent timing on their peaks.
Absolutely. So for you guys who've just joined us, I know some of you are here from HLTV, so if you are a Russian in the chat, give us some Cyrillic and a Sikabliat, please. I want to see how many Russians we got. Yeah, come on, guys.
Probably none.
Damn it.
Goliath Gaming going to try something different. Airstrike down mid. It's not going to land on anything, unfortunately. As they do try. I like that from Goliath. Just trying something different. As Energy just poking around once again, trying to find where Energy is weak. Goliath finally stacking the A site, and as it happens, Energy have been pretty good at spreading across the map. Their default tends to be 2 players towards B and then 3 towards A. And then a late decision as to whether they're going to go either side. This time they're getting a bit more aggressive, trying to take a chance. And Massacre is going to sneak through the smoke and shoot Domster in the face.
That was rather audacious, but he is known for those sorts of plays. Goals, I thought he might get him with this easy at that sort of range. Had he had armor, I think he had that duel.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, if you'd hit Plexi in the head, I think he also probably comes out much better. But Plexi just slightly quicker on the draw. As Energy still pretty passive, not doing a whole lot of anything. They have moved more players towards A, so it does look as though A is the choice this round. Black Poison left as the lurk. Oh, Hackham is going to not catch as much of that as I thought he would.
Nades are so deceptive in this game, especially when you're spectating it. I think they do some rather unexpected things. I do miss the 1.6 nades, especially the shape of them, actually.
What, the blocky shape?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Either way, Goliath are going to be dealing with the energy push. Once again, Energy has focused a little bit more on B than they have on A. As Massacre, can he make it through a time? Lucky. Order direct to the side. No, Hackham comes in with a running P250. He does actually some huge damage. His Darkbook also goes down to the molly this time. Deepit is on hand with that M4, and this is being used perfectly. And that'll actually be the end of the round. Energy have run out of time, and Flexi forced to save. Nefon and Deviant last remaining players, but once again, that late entry onto the B site is costing Energy. They just can't clear all the angles, can't use all the utility in time, and this time it's Massacre with a couple of good kills there around the smoke, just slowing things down.
The tilt pause coming in, I would assume. At that point, if you're Energy, it's now happened to them a couple times already, where they've been a little bit too slow. and have run out of time. And also it kind of feeds into that narrative of not clearing corners correctly, not doing their due diligence. And maybe a little bit of that does come from being rusty, but this team is also a team that's won an African championship and won other tournaments as well during the course of last year. They should know better.
They made the final of every competition they played last year, so you can't, it's not an excuse to be running into sites that late with not being able to check corners. When Na'Vi did it, that was because they had a default set of information that they could reasonably make a pretty good guess. Energy here is just not really doing a whole lot of anything. They just sort of push in late, not really checking all the corners, and it's just cost them a couple of times. At least 3 rounds that Energy now has thrown away to Goliath when they should have, by all odds, have won those rounds. They were usually up against pistols or broken buys, and they've given Goliath opportunities to get back into this game, which they damn should have.
Yeah, still that being said, they are in the lead, so you can't fault them on being in the lead, but you can fault them on being in the position that they could have already crushed Goliath by now, and they keep letting them back in. So it's on Goliath to take the opportunities that are given to them here, and I think Neff might, well, I was going to say he might take that opportunity, but doesn't. But they are still in this. The half win is still up for grabs. 7-6, 8 of course would be a half win for either side here, so let's see who can take this round, because that's probably going to determine who wins the half.
That it should. Nefon actually never had money to buy an AWP, and even if he has, he's defaulted to the M4. Some damage being dealt through the walls there. As moment, Energy again, really certain what they can find. Flexi's going to take a fight that he can't win. Goliath and their captain Goals pick up the first frag of the round.
Nice play out of Goals to just keep laying down the covering fire there. Kind of what people want the Negev to do, the CSGO devs.
Terrible, please
no,
don't.
We don't want that.
No, it's horrible.
But let's see if he can cover off his teammate here. Nade in the hand, that means he's instantly going to die, right?
Should be.
No, okay.
Yeah, Neff aware of the possible jump onto the box there, and he's going to take out Tuckbook. And Goliath, this is just too slow from Energy. They are cleaning them up pretty easily. Domster, now the point man, he's going to walk in, he's going to get the first kill. He needs to get the second. That's not going to happen. They should double up on him as Black Poison, the last remaining player, will hide. He's actually going to get the kill there from apartments area. Is not going to take a fight that is capable of being won, as Domster gets Deviant through the spokes of the wheel. Can he get Nefon? He should actually catch Nefon. No idea why Nefon jumped up at that point. Taking a chance there. But
oh yeah, no, the bomb is above him. That is a huge disaster. He thought it was below the balcony. So did I. I wasn't watching correctly. And that's, well, that's such a shame for Domster. He gets 3 on 20 HP by being really clever and really quick on those shots on the close angles. And then he just loses it because the bomb is not within reach.
Yeah, I mean, he almost got lucky there. Hackam didn't seem to know that the bomb had been dropped in an unreachable position. Had actually walked across the, man, he'd actually walked right under the short area. So he could have been caught out as it is. And Goliath get lucky again, and Energy looking pretty weak in these last couple of rounds. Flexi on a Deagle alone, and that airstrike down Banana has absolutely ruined Energy.
Jeez, that is terrible news if you're an Energy fan. If you're a Goliath fan, well, Energy are giving them opportunities back into this, and Goliath are taking it with both hands here. They've got the opportunity to win the half when it looked at one point like Energy would get at least 10. So I think an 8-7 for Goliath would actually make them feel quite, I wouldn't say happy, but it would make them feel a lot happier than they would have felt early on when they were taking so much pain.
Yeah, those last 3 rounds of this half would be a huge Goliath win. This once again, Massacre goes through.
That is fantastic, and then Hackam coming in as well, looking for some more, looking for all of them, left down to just Flexi, and it's not going to be enough from him. That is some audacious play out of the 2 aggressive players there on B bomb side, Massacre and Hackam.
Yeah, fantastic timing there by Massacre as he gets that flash on all 5 players, able to pick up 2 as he runs completely blind through that smoke. And Energy will be severely disappointed that they ended up with only 7 rounds. Goliath will be breathing a sigh of relief, but also, I think, not quite happy with how that CT side went.
Indeed. So I think Energy doing a lot to demonstrate in that half the difference between being methodical and being too slow at times, because when it worked, it looked fantastic. You know, they were they were executing at the right sort of time, keeping the defense guessing, and it worked beautifully. And when it went wrong, they ran out of time. They didn't clear their corners correctly, and rounds were lost that didn't have any right to really be lost. They were sort of losses snatched from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, I mean, usually to pistols in little odd areas, AK in the one round from Hack'em there. Yeah, I think Energy just looked very, very ring rusty at this point, and you could lay that down to the fact they haven't really probably played at many competitions. They haven't really, been under the cosh as it were, as they were at some points in the first half.
So we're just waiting for the players to ready up and get ready to go here. Thanks again for everybody who's joined us. We appreciate you guys being here. Glad you showed up to watch some South African CS. And, well, I think so far we've seen some good signs from both teams. I don't think we've seen the best from either team just yet. But the series is young, of course. And as we go into the pistol round, we look forward to seeing what these guys can bring. Because for Goliath Gaming, as you said, they absolutely need to win this map. I don't think that they want to sort of bet on their chances of winning on Mirage against Energy.
No. Other teams, I think Goliath would have a decent shot, but Energy on Mirage is an entirely different beast. So, Energy, probably the best pistol side in South Africa. Goliath, certainly with the potential to do some huge damage, but they need to make certain of it. Energy, pretty aggressive in the middle area at the moment as Goliath makes a fast play towards A, and looks like Massacre is going to be the lurk towards B, just making some noise.
Poking around here, hoping somebody's going to get aggressive and possibly gift them a free kill. They've got some great pistol players on Goliath Gaming. And look at that, There it comes, Neff and Deviant. Those Glocks ringing out, getting the kills. And Kenny under a ton of pressure here. You can see him flicking his aim around, but he's been unchecked. Drops the bomber, and that's going to stall the side take and allow his two teammates to come in and help him. Unfortunately, trying to help him there are Tuckbok and Domson. They're getting shut out. It's all on Tuckbok, 2 HP, and he's going to get knifed. Neff, that was rather brave, but he goes for it and he gets the money.
Yeah, sneaky there by Neff, and you could see Energy just close range with those weapons just not going to work against a pack of Glocks. Goliath makes the correct play, almost runs through the smoke there as it fades, and Energy caught unawares. Both players go down. That'll just basically be the end of Energy's sight there.
Ouch. That's not a good start for Energy. Goliath, it's an ideal start. There's actually Deviant on the MP7. I always expect goals to pick that up, but Deviant going for it. And GG is one of those few teams that do actually pick up MP7s with regularity. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, Goliath, let's hope they can make a better play of it with these weapons than Energy did, as Tuckbok. Dangerous pistol player, and he is going to murk Massacre there. That was quite the clothesline.
Huge nade, though, in reply. He runs right into it. Got the call go long, and he went and tried to catch it.
Yeah, quite a bit of that, as Golds does kill his former teammate in Black Poison on Bravado. Canny pushes at the correct time, catches Neff. That's also the bomb. So Goliath making similar mistakes here as Energy did on their anti-eco, and it's just 2 MAC-10s left against a bunch of CZs. And Goliath, things are getting a bit shaky. Hack'em tries to turn things around, killing off Tuckbok there. And Flexi making tons of noise. Golds is going to catch him there as Hack'em continues the devastation, but Canny's turned things around now. Golds will get the bomb back.
Gets the bomb back. It's a 1v1, which is kind of surprising considering it was a 2v4 at one point there. So great work out of the Goliath Gaming players to bring it back in Energy, maybe being a little bit too kill hungry there, though. At this range against the CZ, though, I don't know. It's probably not a great angle to be peeking goals, and he realizes it, so decides to back out and play around the boxes here, making things hard for a player who doesn't have a kit. And Canny, he's so good at these sort of close-range engagements. Let's see if he can find it, and unfortunately not able to find it. Goals puts him to bed rather neatly there, and that's around, I think, stolen out of the fire there from Goliath Gaming.
Yeah, very, very close to losing that. In the end, Canny's lack of bullets costing him. He only had 5 by the time he went down. He needed to make certain that he at least did a bit of chip damage to goals. Couldn't really get too close for fear of the sprayer from that MAC-10. Either way, Goliath Gaming picked themselves up a 10th. Energy now under the cosh a little bit. They will be giving up this round and then be able to buy in the next.
Well, let's see how they deal with this eco. There are still a few pistols here that could potentially sting them. Not too much. And another nade dealing some rather large damage there. 15 HP also on Black Poison as well. I'm assuming he took a bit of nade damage here in apps somewhere. But at situation at the moment, Goliath Gaming should be able to take this round with relative ease. If they don't, I was going to say I'd eat my hat, but I love my hat too much, so no.
Well, we still have to burn one of your hats on stream, do we not?
No, I
Massacre
won't do it.
flashed in and guns down Tuckbock. Domster, he's the lone man left here at the moment. P2K, all he's got is a friend, and Flexi not going to make friends with Deviant.
And he finds himself a gap, the smoke clears, and he gets the bomb as well. That's quite big. Problem is lack of armor, and they're trying to round on him. Yeah, Neff does that. Gets the first, and he gets another, does Kenny. Very crisp shooting with that P250, but you don't think he's going to be around for much longer, and that proves to be the case as Hackham is there. The backup coming in the nick of time. Domston up, low HP and a Deagle. Not going to be around for much longer. So 11-7, Goliath Gaming are stretching their lead out. We will see the first buy round here for Energy CS. What do Energy, the Counter-Strike team, TM, need to do here?
They need to make certain of the kills. They actually have very, very little utility. So I think the best thing to do, try and flash Canny in and see if he can get a pick in the early stages. Does he actually have a good spawn? Looks like he's got an okay one. So maybe he's going to go up against Nefon. Nefon didn't pick up the AWP at all on the CT side, so it could be a bit of a surprise for Goliath here. Energy, bit of aggression towards B, trying to control that area of the map and just make their lives easier when the execute does eventually come through.
I think there's a gap. There is a gap. He gets himself a kill, escapes, only nade damage in response. Black Poison's so good at taking the responsibility on himself as the leader to get those opening kills, and he's been super efficient at it in the times that we've covered him, which is many times last year. We just haven't seen much of them lately.
Yeah, as we mentioned multiple times, ESEA is the only competition that they've actually been active in, as Canny holding pretty passive angles for Canny's reputation, to be fair. Not really all that keen on holding the Archer side. They've got Black Poison holding that area, and Energy. They have lost control of Banana after that early kill. So just playing the standard 2-3 setup, although it does look as though Tuckbook really wants to move towards A.
Sights are set here. Goals. The point man, as he has so often been for other teams, including Energy and Bravado in the past. Very successful player at being the first man into bomb sites, and he's going for it. Massacre, meanwhile, on the lurk, and he gets both of them. That is just dirty. That probably shouldn't happen, but Massacre is the man who does those things. Deviant now, the man left as they rotated out, and he stings as well. That is huge.
Yeah, and Energy, I mean, at this stage, you'd almost just say, just save, guys. There's no point trying to take this fight. It's a 2-on-3, and you have zero control of the B side. Probably don't even have control of CT, but I mean, all on that man, Massacre. Absolute beast. Wrecks both Domster and Tuckbock with some pretty dirty headshots, to be fair.
Those were pinpoint if I've ever seen shots be described.
Especially
as
it's like a 180 that he gets from the second one. It's like, you know, he catches Domster maybe a little bit slow on the reaction, and then it's just instant turnaround, and, you know, cheers Tuckbock, come back tomorrow. Maybe the door will be open then.
Doing a bit of hunting, yeah, as Massacre has been doing so far, adding to his tally. He's now on a triple kill, and he knows where the other player is. He's seen the... Oh, no! He saw the barrel, and then unfortunately switched to his pistol at the wrong moment. They'll still take him down, though, and that's a pretty big loss there for Energy.
Yeah, and a huge win for Goliath in retrospect, as Energy now back on the save. It's the first time they'll be able to buy. We'll have Goliath at 13 rounds and well on that finishing line towards victory.
Did you realize at this moment we could be casting ESEA main instead?
Possibly.
We'd be competing against Babam, man. How can we compete with that?
Pretty easily. He just makes noises.
That's true. I'd much rather be here. I'm really happy to be casting South African CS instead. I'm glad this game came up. And I'm glad you guys have joined us. I hope it's been entertaining so far. We're still on the first map. A long way to go, yeah. And, well, it should be... By all rights, it should be 13-7, and that would put Energy in a pretty difficult situation. But Tuckbock with a pistol, you never know.
Yeah, he is a very, very dangerous player. Black Poison actually pretty close with that Deagle. Generally, you want to be a little bit further away. That's exactly why. Deviant sneaks out, gets the first kill there. Some more damage is being dealt. Last remaining player on the A side will be Flexi, and not for long.
So nice and easy does it there for Goliath Gaming. doing what they need to do to get the bomb site in their possession. And Energy, well, there's no chance for them here. They just need exit frags, basically. That's all they can hope for in a best case scenario. Yeah, worst case is that they get nothing, which is at this point also looking quite likely. So going to be 13-7. Energy running out of rounds to play with here.
Yeah, ideally Dumpster gets as far away from this area as possible. He does have body armor and a P250, so that'll be welcome in the next round. We'll be able to buy him a couple more nades. But Goliath at this stage, they have looked very, very solid on their map pick here. Energy just haven't been able to buy around on the CT side at this point.
Oops.
And, okay, bit expensive.
I was trying to get that AK back, Deviant, but not going to make it, so... Slight mistake there, but nothing too costly for them. They built up some economy. Unfortunately for Energy, it's the all-in time when it comes to the economy game, and that's going to mean the double AWPs.
And a potent set of double AWPs, if there ever was one in South Africa. Black Poison and Canny both have been primary AWPers on their teams. Both have been beastly primary AWPers on their teams. Goliath might not know what's coming for them. The speed is the only real way to combat this, and Goals does have that MP7.
On the angle here, and Kenny finds that the flash just a little bit off, but the reply there could have been even worse. Still favoring the CTs though. Tuckborg probably quite lucky to escape there, but the smoke does of course help him out, bringing it into a 4v3. Energy with a chance of potentially. I was fooled by the X-ray there. Of course, he was actually in the A bomb site, not in the middle.
No, not at all. So Energy 2-on-3 at the B bomb site here. Tuckborg and Darmster are two of the players you definitely want. Both have some magnificent spray control, and sense of timing on both these players is pretty damn solid. So Tuckborg's just going to slow things down. That should tell Canny it's time to rotate, but Goliath, a lot earlier movement here than we did see out of Energy. It's only 40 seconds, so they could very well make the hit now. Don't really have much utility left, so we'll need to make certain that Neff takes a shot, doesn't actually land on anything, but the grenade in response will tell him where a player is.
Oh no, he throws the smoke that could have extinguished it, the molly lying at his feet. That's going to cost him, but the inattentiveness there costing Hackham, and it's brought into a 1v3. The bomb will go down. Neff can win this, he's got the AWP, but it's going to take a bit of a miracle here.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit Domster at close range as Domster sneaking around that corner.
What?
The shoulder peaks to get him. I have no idea. Dev somehow wins that, but it's easily picked up there by Flexi, and they will save both the AWPs. So Energy getting as much of this round as they could. Both the AWPs are saved, and those double AWPs did pay dividends.
They did indeed, and saving both of them, of course, is helpful. Keep two players alive, so they'll be able to buy around that. And for Goliath Gaming, the bomb plant, they had some economy as well, so the buy will be particularly good. And it's a pretty dangerous round if you're Energy, because if you give too much away in this round, heaven forbid lose the round, then you're probably losing this game.
Yeah, you probably are. 13 rounds on Goliath is more than too close, yeah.
And there's the kill. Jeez. Again, we were saying earlier, Black Poison, guy who decides to do that for his team, making it happen again.
Another thing that Black Poison is famous for is boosting in just about every possible boost spot in the world. As you can see, he picks up a double to start off the round, so Energy well favored to win this round. Now Massacre just going to be trying to rescue that AWP from the clutches of Energy, although maybe they don't suspect that Energy's actually saved the double AWPs. No, they must have. They would have seen the defuse come through, and that's been so just maybe moving it into a little bit more of a useful position. Goliath, though, 3 versus 5, and they haven't yet figured out how Energy is holding this A side for the round.
Difficult situation for Goliath. They at least have the rounds to play with, so it's not the end of the world for them, but they'd ideally want to take this away. And they're going to be trying Massacre, the man getting the kill, but there's the reply from Flexi, and it's the bomb as well. That's quite big. And he can afford to play a little bit more defensive now. They've heard that player drop down as well. He'll get another one as he decides to go looking for that player and leaving it to Massacre, who's shown he's well able, but the time could potentially be an issue for him here, and he needs to find a favorable engagement. They know where he is. He's dropped to 4 HP. He shouldn't be around for much longer. Black Poison finishes him off, taking a pneumatic drill to a fly there, 4 HP, and killing him with an AWP.
Yeah. Black Poison, I think the star of that round for Energy, and it's certainly good to see him back on that AWP. As I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. Oh, sorry, I wasn't the biggest fan of Canny as the primary AWP. I think Black Poison is going to give you a lot more consistent output, but Canny can do some huge work with it. At the moment, though, Goliath back onto a force-up of some sorts, and they will allow Energy to get to 10. So Energy on a nice little comeback. Goliath, oh, sorry, Black Poison back on that boost and back on the scoreboard to start the round. It's getting a bit of a metronome right now as he picks up Deviant this time.
Trying to stand in some fire and flame there and get a kill, and not going to work out for them. Black Poison's flashed off, but he's so consistent in landing these shots. He's just destroying them here. Domster does go down, and that leaves Black Poison in a slightly dicey situation on his own for a second, but he's able to deal with it. Quad kill for Black Poison. If you look at that scoreboard, it makes for pretty reading if you're Black Poison. I don't know about the rest of the team so much, outside of Kenny.
Black Poison's picked up how many kills in the last 3 rounds now? 8 since he picked up the AWP?
Yeah, he's been unstoppable since he's had the AWP, and the setups for him as well, the way he's using his site partner there to put himself in a good position to get the early kills, I think is what's catching Goliath off here.
Yeah, he either gets himself flashed in or he boosts into an unlikely spot. Goliath just don't seem to be able to read the Energy captain at the moment, and he is reaping souls. So Goliath really need to figure out what's going on here. They still haven't yet realized that Canny is holding the Archers area, although they will suspect it, as Deviant is the point man this time.
Taking it slow, nice and easy. Of course, a big round at this point, and walking out, mistimed on the flash there as well. The flash was quite a long time before he actually walked out. Kind of unfortunate there.
Very unfortunate as Black Poison. I mean, he's going to hit you through smokes, he's going to hit you over a boost, he's going to hit you through a wall as well at this point. Deviant, the last man alive, can he win this? He has done it in the past. Canny is very, very low, but they'll burn him out of position. He's got not a lot. He's going to have to waste the smoke as well. Start things off well. That'll kill off Black Poison. That's one of the high HP players. So Canny and Domster well within kill range here for the old veteran of Goliath Gaming at this point. Can he do more? Moving into a bit of a different spot. Only Tuckbook that is a true threat to him in terms of the HP, as Tuckbook spamming the bullets there. Deviant doing it every can to get a better position, and Canny and friends will double up and kill Deviant off.
Wow, he was really making them work very hard for what should have been quite an easy kill considering its HP, but showing his experience there, Deviant, not able to get any more. If he'd maybe gotten another one, it might have affected the energy economy a bit more, but now, actually, Energy within range of Goliath Gaming, and they look a lot better on the CT side.
Yeah, and Goliath having to double save now means that they are in some severe dire straits if they start losing more rounds. And Canny's going to start things off this time for Energy. And since these double AWPs have opened up, it's just Energy all the way. Goliath has no idea how to deal with this. They've bought Energy the ability to control Banana with some effect, and Goliath has just been forced to go A all day long. Black Poison does leg Massacre, and he's just going to finish him off there with a 5-7 at range.
I like his awareness to know that he legged him as well, because if he hadn't, he could have been in a bit of trouble. But there's one kill for Deviant, at least a nice clean headshot, and another for goals, making this potentially expensive. If he had one more bullet there, that was his kill.
Well, they don't need one more bullet because Hackham's able to provide it right now. As Domster's going to try and fight his way out of trouble here. He's actually taking huge damage. Black Poison will need to do most of the work as Hackham. He certainly has the possibility of winning this round. He's going to jump right into Black Poison's clutches, and he is not going to make a mistake a second time. Down goes Hackham. They will once again recover those double AWPs, but that was a lot closer for Energy than they would have liked, especially given the circumstances of Goliath Gaming Spy.
Bit of a puzzler, man. If you looked at those early kills, it was all Energy, and the A-site defense, they're just letting Energy down somewhat. Take nothing away from the Goliath players, of course, they did what was needed, but two of the players getting caught flat-footed there by, I think it was goals with the CZ.
Yeah. Goliath just seems to be upping the tempo a little bit and is catching Energy a little bit off guard in that situation. So, okay. Deviant looked like he timed out there for a second.
Although goals was timing out because he hadn't bought at that point either. Maybe some kind of communication going on and people forgetting what they're doing.
Black Poison with the same boost that he's used a couple of times. Does Goliath Gaming fall for it again? No, not this time.
I liked how he pre-fired that. He could have hit a spectacular shot there, potentially. Getting aggressive, though, is Hackham, and walking right into that railgun that's called the AWP when it's in Black Poison's hands. Oh, he's just hitting everything Black Poison.
Yeah, somehow Nefan survives with 1 HP through that wall. He's got to be thanking his lucky stars. He's actually going to drop the AWP and swap over to an AK, as energy with these double AWPs have been brutal on Goliath Gaming. And I mean, Goliath has not played badly. Hakim is doing very, very well. Massacre's had some huge rounds, but these double AWPs are a mystery that at the moment Goliath Gaming cannot crack.
Flexi deciding to get aggressive. I always found Flexi somewhat of an enigma as a player because he's tremendously aggressive on T side, but really controlled on CT. He tends to be very coordinated with his teammates on pushing, and that's kind of in contrast to that sort of style of player if you look at the other guys who have a similar play style.
Yeah, he does seem to be a bit of... I mean, you could almost say... you know, of two minds as a player, as Takbok is going to kill off goals, and trades come through now, and that leaves energy in a 3 versus 2. Nefon's holding the angle, and he's going to pick up the kill. That'll be on Domster. This Massacre is the last remaining player on high HP. Can he get the kill here? It makes life a lot easier. It's the second time he's going to be in this situation. This time he does not make the mistake, though. He's going to smoke it. Does know that Nefon probably has the smoke, and the flash will come through from Black Poison to prevent any attempt from Nefon. And 13 to 13, Goliath Gaming are letting this game slip through their hands.
Wow. Would not have bet on this outcome when it was, what was it, 13-6 at one point?
It was in, no, 13-7.
13-7, yeah. So while we look at the scoreboard quickly, Black Poison 26, Kenny 22, the two AWPers doing what they need to do on the CT side, and that's been the major difference maker. On the other side, Hakim, you know, for the amount of times that he got caught with the nade in hand on CT side, he was doing some big work there on that B-bomb site. And Massacre's also had some great rounds. Like, overall, if you look at the players, even, you know, the goals is lagging a little bit behind. He had his moments too. It's just, again, double AWPs. How are they going to unlock this? Maybe they need to be a bit faster and more aggressive to try to run them down?
I definitely do think they need to at least try that. Just multiple flashes onto the areas that they know the energy players are holding. Because energy hasn't actually moved the AWPs a whole lot. You know, they're not trying to get into the A-side apps or push aggressively down Banana. It's really just sitting at the top of Banana, holding the angles, and that's about it. So I think Goliath should, at the very least, just try a quick play towards maybe the A-side. It's a little bit easier. You don't have Black Poison able to get there before you and hold a better angle. And Energy, again, I mean, playing that traditional CT, extremely passive CT side. Nobody really wants to be holding the apps these days because of the paper-thin nature of the walls. So I think Goliath would be well suited to just unleash Massacre, unleash Hakim, give them the flashes to help them out, and just, you know, hold down W and don't stop until the energy players are dead.
Somewhat of a contrast of some of the rounds on their CT side where they seem to hold down W.
Yeah.
Probably need to do that now. And Kenny the man, yeah, waiting with open arms, ready to send somebody the present of a... I was going to quote actually the caliber of the gun, and I can't remember.
Usually does help if you remember those kind of things. Either way, yeah. Energy gone ultra passive this round. No aggressive peek down Banana, and that's going to be a bit of a mystery for Goliath. They're not quite certain what to make of that. You can see they're expecting the aggression from Energy, and it's just not coming at the moment. And looks like it's going to be a bit of set smokes going towards the A side. As Deviant will just molly out there. I mean, at this stage, looks like a setup, but it is in fact a sell towards Energy. Does Energy bite? It seems they do. They've sent Domster away. Black Poison is the only man here, and can he do it? He's done it a couple of times before, and that nade not going to do as much damage as I hyped it up to do.
If you didn't, I was gonna. We would have both been wrong there. Domster in a good position to catch the lurk, and that might actually tell them something here, that it's time to get out. The play triggered off the back of that, and the shot's being triggered off here by Black Poison. He gets that shot somehow. Black Poison going back for more, and he gets punished there by Goals. 2v4 situation. Goals probably needs to get aggressive here, otherwise this is pretty much lost for them, and he does the right thing. Needs his teammate now to cover him off, but the bomb will go down. 3v2. Tough situation here, and the hero Black Poison again.
Yeah, Goliath now, they do have the possibility when this they have one flash left. It's going to have to be perfectly timed. It's going to be a perfect timing for Flexi instead. This Tuckbok has spotted Neff. They know exactly where he is. That AWP is going to have to ring out and ring true. It's not going to work. Tuckbok takes him down, and Energy on one hell of a comeback here. 14 to 13 from 7 to 13. Goliath seems to be falling apart in these rounds.
What a turnaround from Energy, but still in that round. Very winnable for Goliath. I think if Goals had a bit more HP then actually managed to push around into Graveyard, they might have had a better chance there. That's your only chance when you're in a numerical disadvantage, of course. Look for a fight, try to pick off an unsuspecting opponent. Otherwise, if you just sit in the site, as you saw there from Neff when he was in the 3v1, there's nothing you can do. They know where you are, and you're just going to have no room to move. Yeah,
and I mean, I do want to praise Goliath there. That was actually a fantastic setup on the Energy side. They've got Energy to buy. The farm does hack him. And Black Poison continues the reign of terror on that B site.
Jeez, at this stage, I'd maybe just erase that side of the map, but from my memory, it just doesn't exist. Let's go A, boys.
Yeah, let's go A with some speed, because at the moment, Energy have just ruled the roost on Banana since these double orbs have pitched up, and Goliath, they've been trying to do it. Black Poison keep trying to take chances, and they keep working out. Nefon goes down as well, and at this point, Goliath down to 3 versus 5. Energy knows what's coming. Black Poison gives them a whole host of information, and I mean, it's just sort of like repetition. Energy knows they are unchallenged at the B side outside of the last round, and Massacre, he's going to be trying to help Deviant out. So it's the slow play from Goliath this time, but it does feel as though Energy is well aware of what's coming their way.
So kind of caught in middle here between some mollies, holding them at bay for a second. Kenny, I was going to say, should get himself a free kill, and actually zooms out at that moment, expecting the take. And Flexi, the man with open arms, gets himself a kill. Kenny also, and they're pretty aware of Goals where Goals has to be coming from. So Goals shouldn't be around for much long. Perfect flash. And a weird leg spasm there as well in the corpse.
Energy has looked very good with their team play. Goliath, they have individual plays to get them into position pretty well, but then it just seems like it's that last 10 seconds of every execute that they seem to be a bit chicken-headed when they're running into sites. They don't really seem to know how to, just close off the round, because they've had Energy on the ropes. They've had Energy on the ropes for a number of rounds. They're just never able to close out.
See, Goals is on a P250, still had 1400 in the bank. Well, 1100. He could have probably picked up a Mac 10 or something. Not that it would help against that AWP.
Well, he'll pick up the AK off of Nefon's dead body right now, but once again, Energy doesn't need to be said. He's certainly got strong shoulders if he's going to carry the weight of Black Poison on them that regularly.
Yep, those great big titanium balls are heavy. So Goliath Gaming now probing around and eating nades for their trouble. Flexi under a bit of pressure here, but he's got the help of his teammates in the site, so he doesn't need to fall off just yet. And they again stalling here. Goliath Gaming so often being held at bay by the utility usage here, and it's going to do that again, keeping them at arm's length where those AWPs can ring out. And another AWP kill. Flexi striking from pit there. Hack him now and Massacre, the two last men left alive. And somehow the kill's coming in here. Thought for a second it was going to go the other way, but it does not. That is the first map in favor of Energy Esports, and if you look at it, I mean, rewind it 7 or 8 rounds and it didn't look very likely.
No, it did not. 7 to 13 to 16 to 13. Energy completes what is a brutal comeback for Goliath Gaming and their fans. And the double AWPs never figured out by the Goliath side. And I mean, that's the power of Energy. Once they bring out those double AWPs, they're one of the few teams in ESEA that has 2 legitimate primary AWPers on their team, and it's just too potent. You cannot give Black Poison that much time to set up on Banana consistently. I think if they just gotten aggressive down Banana a couple more times, flashed him out, just moved him, made him uncomfortable, I think they would have had a better chance. But Goliath, unfortunately, just not able to do it, and in the end, they suffer defeat on their own map pick as Energy look to clean this up in a 2-0.
Goliath are definitely going to kick themselves when they go back and look at that demo. It's just with just how aggressive Black Poison was actually being. He had no support either, so had they actually just tried to rush him down en masse, in the times where he wasn't being boosted, there was literally nobody with him. So being an absolute terror, doing what we know that he can do, and doing amazing work. So that's the first map there from going towards energy, and it was the map I thought we both thought Goliath needed a win to stay in the series. We're going to Mirage next, where energy have pretty much ruled the roost in South Africa, even over Bravado, especially over Bravado, in fact. So it could be brutal, but Goliath do have the character, they do have the skill, and they do have the ability, so there's every chance that they can come back.
That they do. It's also a map that is going to favor the style of play that Goliath does like, a little bit more aim heavy, little open sights and long range angles to abuse the aim that the Goliath Gaming players have in spades. So map 2 coming up soon as we will go into a break.
fade. This will soon be over, and I will have saved another life. We'll do things right. I'm on my way. But all you say is that we can't do this. But I swear I keep it set in my heart. She makes me breathe in your light. She makes me into my love. She makes me breathe in your light. She makes me we say we'll do things right this time. Right this time. We say we'll do things right this time. Right this time. Right this time. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. I'll keep you close to mine. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it standing at the crossroads between a life and a little end, and there's no turning back. Once it's in, it's down to dirty needles again. And now you're chasing a wind breeze, and you can't stop the grieving. It's always runaways. There's a symphony when you're listening to the one, two, on the streets. There's a symphony when you're listening to the one, two, on the streets. Are you worthy among the worthless when you're living underneath this place is full of runaways, just chasing heroin dreams. There's a symphony when you're listening to the one, two, around the streets. This place is full of runaways, just chasing heroin dreams. Hurting all the ones who play. The truth won't ever be the same. Looking for a sign of hope, a light inside to help you cope. Take me away from this place, something to slow the pace. Tell me why you cannot see. It's not my fault to pull your finger at me. Now it's time to be. You're not the one for me. You keep pushing me away. Need something to numb the pain. You're holding me under, making me stop for a while I wait. You keep pushing me away. I can't take another day. I've been broken, leading me on to go astray. You're gone. I'm done. Trust I had is frayed and torn, not to be filled with pain. It's gone. Nothing you gain. Selfishness the source of your pain. Now it's time to be. You're not the one for me.
And it looks like a knife round. How's it going, Prof?
Going pretty well. Energy will lose their second knife round.
Who cares about knife rounds? Apparently people do. I don't.
Apparently they do. Nobody really does. It's just a knife round.
Exactly. So thanks.
Who's better with a short stabby weapon?
Shade. Anyway. We are casting ESEA. This is the semi-final. It's ESEA Open South Africa Season 27. First map going the way of Energy. It was quite close. Goliath Gaming looked well poised to take that map, and Energy, when they got out the double AWP on the CT side, they took it right away from them. So it is now Energy starting out on the T side on their map pick. What can they do?
Yeah, what can they do indeed? It'll be interesting for me, at the very least, to see how Black Poison is going to play the middle area, as Nefon does some acrobatics to do some damage to the Energy players. Fights being taken at range. Not really going to favor the Glocks at this point, as Hack'em on his way to the rotate towards A. He's actually going to pick up the first kill, but gets traded out immediately afterwards. Golds is going to get caught there. His shoulder just sticking out from the edges. Flexi shoots him, and he's going to get a second there. Flexi with a huge play to get his team into the B site there. Energy had already controlled.
Well, that was casual.
Yeah. Execute.
Black Poison with a pistol. It's like you can just bank a kill there with him. At least one, if not three.
Yeah, he is probably South Africa's best pistol player consistently. So a huge win there for Energy, as does gets them first round on the T side. As I said, this is Energy's map pick. It's also a map that they are probably the best in South Africa, if not certainly second to Bravado, and have actually consistently beat Bravado on the map as well. So, Deviant getting his angle a little bit messed up there, and cops himself a shot to the arm from that scout.
Doesn't help, but what is helping them is their utility to get towards catcher, and they're getting a lot of real estate. Deviant, though, could potentially catch somebody off here if they decide to poke their head down towards him. Seems aware that of all the movement happening here. Massacre somehow getting a kill before getting traded. Still not in danger, really, are Energy. They're trading pretty effectively at this point. And with the bomb going down, our Goliath are quite effectively locked out. Jeez, the headshot from Black Poison.
Didn't even need the headshot. I think he'd done enough damage to Deviant, but decides to style on him a bit. And Energy looking pretty damn solid.
Indeed looking solid. And we're talking about the pistol rounds from Energy. That is one of the areas where they used to hurt Bravado last year. And we've seen since Bravado's moved overseas, they've had real struggles winning pistol rounds. Definitely could learn a thing or two from Energy's approach.
Yeah, that they could. Energy partnering up well there, making certain Black Poison does go down. And like I said, the one thing I will be interested to see is how keen they are to have Black Poison on an AWP on this map. He took a very long while before he decided to AWP on Inferno, but I mean, Mirage mid is basically Black Poison territory with that AWP. You don't want to be giving him too many chances. So Canny this time has been handed off the scout as Black Poison picks up the AK. Energy looking for a little bit more speed this time, and this is probably the most clean cut of the rounds for them to win. Yeah,
they shouldn't lose too much here. Shouldn't. You never know though. Sometimes it's like 5 USPs and you expect nothing, and the kills rain in, and there's a kill for Coles again. It's always those unexpected sort of kills that seem to happen with the USPs for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they did face him with, what, 3 players, so Black Poison can't really be blamed for going down there. Still, it would have been nice for him to get a kill, as the rest of his team is cleaning up. Energy, once again, 3 rounds, 3 B-side takes, and 3 successful wins as Deviant. Oh, okay. Had a chance there. Canny able to get the gun out just in time and picks up the kill. So Masker, the last remaining player, he will happily pick up that scout. And does he carry that into the next round? I don't think so. Maybe just look to do some damage. Flexi, though, on hand to do some damage of his own.
Okay, bounced into the angle there. trying to gather a little bit of speed with the B-hops, but didn't quite set him up, unfortunately. Lost momentum too quickly. And Energy, well, they're gathering momentum themselves, 3-0, and it's a much better start for them this time around. And Goliath Gaming, they're on the CT side, so they would expect to walk away with the half win, yeah? Ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen, I gather.
Yeah, it's not a map that Goliath has been particularly favorable of. They banned it against Lead Pro. Didn't ban it here, but you could almost guess that they would have banned it in the second round. So, Goliath, let's
But
Now
it's tough against Energy, though, because you don't want to play Train against them. You definitely don't want to play Cash against them. It doesn't leave you with many options.
No, it doesn't. And then that was, I think, Goliath's biggest problem last year when they started, is that they basically had the same map pool as Energy and Bravado. Energy and Bravado were better on their map, so it left Goliath in a rather sticky situation as to where to go in the pick ban. But they've expanded out this year. I like the fact that they've gone for Inferno. It's not a map the South African teams have enjoyed too much. Goals with the aggression down mid. It's going to pay him dividends for a short amount of time before Takbok trades him out in Energy. Will be unhappy at losing a player, but that does mean that they semi-control mid now. Goliath, knowing that there is a player holding top of mid, means that Energy will be able to abuse that as Goliath with the standard safe hold on the A side. There's not been a lot of heavy A side holds anymore in top level CS.
It's true. Most teams seem to favor the retake style. Deviant going to be receiving them here and receiving a bullet to the face from the UMP as well. That's unfortunate for him. He probably needed one kill there to make the retake effort possible. And there's a really tiny little gap there. I would have actually been interested to see if he could hit anything.
Ooh, Flexi knows his angles and okay,
oh
Flexi.
My word.
Flexi is coming to play, boys, because if Black Poison, if mid is Black Poison's home, then Mirage is Flexi's art easel to paint some fantastic victories. He has been the man to carry Energy through some shaky games against Bravado last year, and what a series of games he had on LAN against Bravado as well.
Oh yeah, he was the principal damage dealer, I'd say, in that ESL Africa final, and I mean to a lesser degree in the semi-final as well. They were in huge trouble in that semi-final at one point before Kenny clutched a couple times. Domst also won a 1v3 and they got back into it, but Flexi, I think, the unsung hero, and also I believe that the rumors going around that he might be leaving the team.
That is the rumor, but we have to stress that it is just a rumor at this point, as what is not a rumor is Black Poison shooting people in the face, and Canny following up.
Yeah, not too much to say. These sorts of ranges, those pistols aren't really going to be that helpful for you. And a huge gap in the smoke there. That doesn't leave a very safe plant position here for Kenny. He's got his teammates looking after him at least. You know when you're playing matchmaking and you try that, you're going to get wrecked though, huh?
Yeah, you're definitely getting wrecked if you're playing that spot.
So just Massacre all on his own here, receiving some bullets for his trouble from Black Poison on the flank, making sure he can't get close. And a little bit of BM there. That was some very light BM. I think tasteful, gentlemanly BM. Just one bullet.
There's always BM. I don't know if you saw that thing that JW was doing where like he shot a guy, then ran up to him and shot him in the head, then like threw a molly on the corpse and then started teabagging the corpse as well.
In the fire.
Yeah.
That's glorious. I aspire to be that toxic. I want to do that.
No, you really don't.
Come on, you know when we play I teabag everyone.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
That's a fabrication. What is... Oh, Gold starting
nice.
things off well here. Removing Black Poison from the Energy side, and that is exactly what Goliath Gaming need to do here. They are a little bit under the cosh, 5 rounds down, still well within the limits of winning this half though, so more of that please, and more of that is indeed being handed out by Hackam as he teaches Flexi not to take chances. Takbok though turns things around, but Nefan with the double orbs themselves. Goliath showing Energy that they can also use the big greens.
Interesting to see Hackam with an AWP. That's not a sight that you see too often. So
no, it isn't.
Good for him to actually get the kill and manage to escape as well. Deviant cleaning up Kenny, and it's now just a mop-up effort on Domster, but Domster in clutch situations, he's shown himself to be incredibly proficient. And he could be very dangerous. Yeah, gets himself another, but he would have roasted anyway if the kill hadn't come in from Massacre. But geez, every time I see Domster in a clutch situation, there's so many situations we can think back over the last couple of years that he's won 3v1s, 2v1s. Scary stuff.
Yeah, fantastic player in the clutch. Goliath Gaming a bit of an expensive round for them. They do lose one of the AWPs. They'll put Neff on the scout. I mean, he is a little bit more mobile than Hackam, so probably will be able to make better use of the scout. Energy, it's the first loss. Can they hit back? Because Goliath didn't have many players alive at the end of that, so Energy well within possible range of cracking that at Goliath Gaming economy and building up a huge set of T rounds.
Oh, that is a lot of damage coming in there. Was that the scout shot and a bit of the fire that dropped into 9?
Think so. It looks like it. Neff was the one that took damage, so yeah, it does look like. Kenny copped a bit of a beating from that scout.
Ouch. 5-1. You'd say ouch about the scoreline, but Goliath Gaming are still very much in it here. And in this round, the damage definitely favoring them. Definitely not the utility. And in that engagement, Black Poison with the smoke switches weapon and gets the headshot. That's what you got to do there. If you're caught with a weapon in hand, if you don't die instantly, you need the headshot. And he did it.
Goals just whiffing a little bit there as he allows Black Poison to get the kill on him. Deviant desperately wants to get aggressive here. He's holding such a wide angle. Could get caught. Who is getting caught is Flexi, though, as Hackam is now flashed to all hell and gone. His mask is helping him out there.
Oh!
Hackam gets another. Kenny's going to turn things around. It's just the two super low HP players from Energy left. Can they make some magic work? Black Poison could do it all with timing here. Does he catch Deviant? He does indeed, and shoots him straight in the face. Shot comes through onto Nefan, so this is actually a lot closer than it appears. Goliath doesn't have the best weaponry, and they're low on HP, so Massacre, it's all on him. He's the point man. He's going to have to hit the shot. He does indeed, and that will tell him that the last remaining player is in the apps.
Big plays from Massacre, saving it for his team. World's most telegraphed flash as well, so Massacre should be in a position to punish him, and he does duly. 16 HP. Excellent effort out of the young player there, and they need more of that to Goliath Gaming.
Yeah, once again, Goliath losing quite a few players. That's the second AWP they've lost, so they're actually going to be running a full set of rifles outside. No, never mind. Gold's going with the...
Goliath. Was that where you were going?
No. Gold's going with the...
Making fun of you, I'm sorry, Prof. But if you look at their buy there, it's on life support for Goliath Gaming. Not the greatest buy, so an opportunity for Energy. Of course, Tuckbook on the pistol, but for him, that's not really much of a downgrade.
No, not really. Although, I mean, his deagle is decent, but I really do favor his... Well,
Ooh.
what I don't favor is Goals getting wrecked there by Flexi. So aggression from Goals with that MP7. Of course, that is a favor of Chris J. Massacre and Hackam really keen to get aggressive, and they need to time it well. If they don't, they could end up giving an Energy a free pass into the B site.
And those are also two rifles there as well. So two of the more powerful weapons that are still alive on their team. If they lose those, then a round could be completely gone for them. So taking a calculated risk, which is something that you do need to do. But I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
That is the good question. Dumpster just going to be making some noise at A as the flash comes through. Deviant trying to block the smoke, not quite working out there for him. And does this convince Goliath Gaming that it is in fact an A take? I think Energy needs to actually push through. Doms is going to take a bit of damage from the scout there as Neff continues to spam through, and that is actually fully convinced Goliath.
Oh.
That is indeed where the shot comes through. Neff hits a fantastic heady, but Black Poison is up close. Does he know this though? Suspected it, but it's not enough. Energy is actually pushed onto the A site. This delayed take though could end up costing them, as Kenny is the last remaining player with that scout. He needs Black Poison's help, and Black Poison is trying to get there as quickly as possible.
This is such a dicey situation for Energy, and they're running out of time here. There's just no way they can do this, unfortunately. They need to try to keep these players alive. Kenny will hit a crazy shot, but unfortunately, Black Poison goes down. That puts them in the position that, 450 on Black Poison, I guess they could force around the AWP, but do you really want to invest at this point when your money is broken on 3 of your players? It looks like they do.
I wouldn't, but Energy obviously has quite a bit of confidence. Once again, a bit of damage dealt to the Goliath Gaming economy, so Goliath never really able to open up a gap here and start winning a ton of rounds. They're still creeping along though, that is the one thing to be said. Kenny is the man charged with opening up a hole in the Goliath defenses though, as at the moment GG are just spotting players in the middle area, and Energy, after those early rounds in the mid control, have decided to go for a straight B take.
Well, that's a risky play, but they're going to try to make it work. And it is working early on. Flexi, that second shot from Flexi. He is the master of Mirage, and he's absolutely wrecked in there. Kenny missing a shot, but they are still in a massive advantage here. Neff with the reply finally, and there is low HP on Flexi, so that could make it possible. Deviant catching the lurk here, which maybe a bit too much noise out of Black Poison. Definitely
a little bit too much noise. Kenny holding the angle. We should be. He's going to try to get himself back in and miss the easy shot. Hits the hard one. As Energy well set to win this round at the moment. Goliath, though, still in with a chance. 2 players with kits and a grenade to possibly root Flexi out of that little hole. But they're going to decide on the safer course of action. They'll save this round and do whatever they can. Their money isn't looking great, though, so Energy have probably gotten themselves a well-earned 6th round at the very least, and quite possibly a 7th as well.
6-3, great start for Energy. They're looking a lot more sprightly early on here than they were looking on Inferno. We were definitely saying at the beginning that they were looking a little bit lackluster, looking a little bit rusty. And, well, when you play a little bit, you start to shake some of that rust off, and we definitely saw that to be the case in the second half there, and here starting a lot better.
Much, much better, as Goliath only 3 rifles in their hands, so Energy well placed with the firepower to give themselves the best opportunity to win this, and we've gone straight back to that Energy mid-control, as they've got 2 players at the top. They will be looking to push down as far as they can. Goliath, understanding the fact that they don't have a scout or means that they can't really take these fights. Goals trying to get aggressive gets killed by Domster.
A costly kill given away, but there's Massacre to trade it, and Neff as well on the angle. The confusion that Massacre creates allows Chaos to reign, and the Deagle to reign supreme there as well. Didn't even need the headshot, had all the time in the world.
No, he did not. So Goliath, this is actually a pretty good situation for them. Lovely combo of the players in mid there. One pushing out from short, and then slightly delayed is the player coming from the connector area. Just shifting Energy's focus and able to pick up 2 easy kills.
Geez, that was unselfish, eh? Massacre giving the AK there to Hackham, because he's got slightly better HP, 100 versus 66.
Yeah. I mean, Hackham's also the player that will most likely have to deal with a rush from the B side, so not too bad of an idea either there. As Energy, it's going to be a slow A take. They are in a 3 versus 2 situation over here, so Massacre pushing aggressively towards B might actually ruin his ability to rotate, and that will instantly indicate that Goliath need to be here, because Deviant's already gone down. Domster and Flexi, the point men, and Neff's going down. Hackham hits him from range, though. Makes things a little bit more doable, but Canny still lurks with that AWP, and that is not a player you want to be up against in a clutch.
Oh, the nade will chip away at him, though, and they do also have the molly if they decide to pop it there towards the firebox. It's called that for a reason. Canny spotting out ahead now. Nade will go towards firebox, so that should net them a kill. And the shot missed from Canny. That's quite a big miss, and it's going to punish him there.
Lovely play from Hackham, yeah.
Wow, so Goliath Gaming getting a toe back in this, making sure that they're not allowing Energy to run away with it. Of course, traditionally speaking on this map, if you'd gotten 6 in an entire half on T-side, you'd actually feel pretty okay about that. So Goliath can't really afford to give them much more.
Yeah, of late, Mirage teams have been pretty good at picking up a number of T rounds, so I don't think it's
why
beyond...
I said classically.
yeah, classic. I mean, you still don't want Energy to be getting too many rounds on the T side. Their CT is not something that you want to be facing too often, but at this point, Goliath, I mean, they're looking pretty solid. 4 rounds, they should be picking up their 5th now, unless they make some horrible number of mistakes, which they, to be fair, haven't really been making a ton of mistakes. It just generally tends to be getting gunned by the Energy players. Oh,
Black Poison, he's watching him, taking his time, and actually doesn't get the kill. That's quite unfortunate. But there's a massive damage with that nade. Everybody wrecked with that nade, and they should be able to just spray them down here. Massacre on the angle. They're still getting kills somehow. And it's getting a little dicey considering the damage that was done early. Massacre finally goes down. They should have a plant here, but with the HP, you got to favor Goliath Gaming.
Yeah, and Massacre actually getting that kill on the bomb carrier means that Energy is in a horrible situation. Yeah, they're gonna try to get the bomb plant. Ooh, nice from Flexi, but still horrible situation. Deviant executes the young man, and that'll be that.
Didn't quite realize the bomb was actually out of their reach there. As you say, that he managed to get the kill on the attempted planter, and bomb rolls away. Kind of unpredictable in this game sometimes how that bomb actually falls. I recall watching a video from 3 Clicks Philip where he was actually figuring out that it is actually randomized how the bomb flies when you throw it.
I still want to know how a bomb can be on your back and then you get shot in the face and the bomb flies forward.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? But what is making some sense here is the Goliath comeback. They've gotten a couple rounds back to back, starting to build in innings here again within one. And Energy's economy starting to take some pain if you look at the buy. So Goliath with a real opportunity. However, Energy still with the opportunity to set back the Goliath economy too, and that's going to be a huge setback.
Yeah, Goals unfortunately just getting his timing slightly off and gets shot in the face by Domster. And the most common set of smokes in the entirety of CSGO goes out as Energy does now decide to hit the A site, and they've got a free site. Goliath not holding a very passive hold. Nef's going to turn things around, but still a very passive hold from Goliath at this stage.
Neff getting out of there smartly. He knows that there's going to be a player coming with some pressure on him, and he lives for now, but the smoke clears, and Black Poison, you could see him spotting him out. Meanwhile, Massacre on the attempted retake here, dancing about, gets himself a play and gets dropped quite low. 3v3 at this point, HP favoring the terrorists, and unfortunately Black Poison looking the wrong way. Massacre doing massive work, and it's on one player here. It's Domster, the clutchest player in this team, most likely you'd say, and he gets all of them. Domster, you absolute beauty.
That was the last shot. Domster just has no time for Goliath Gaming, and neither does. I mean, I can't even get the words out.
Unbelievable.
He just ruined Goliath. That is basically Energy up to 9 rounds at this stage. Goliath has to force into this round, or will be forcing into this round, but they needed that. That's their money absolutely shattered. They've got nothing to do right now, and dear Lord, Domster, what a position to win from. I mean, down below 50 HP, just pulls out a 1v3 with some insanely fast shots.
Jeez, Domster. Such a skilled player, one of South Africa's best. And if rumors are true, then maybe he is going overseas with Energy. We'll have to wait and see. I'd hope to see that. And wow, definitely can hang with the best of them, can he? And Kenny can too.
Yep. Pops Neff in the face there, as Goliath right now are not looking great, to be fair, in this half. Energy seems to have finally shattered the Goliath economy, as well as, I mean, you'd almost think they're sold with that play. There's Canny gets a second, Deviant trying to get aggressive, looking for something. Goliath at this point, their B site has looked a lot more solid than their A site, and unfortunately that's one of the harder sites to retake once Energy is dug in. Black Poison chimes in with another execution, and all of a sudden Goliath in a 2 versus 5 with absolutely no body armor to protect him from some very powerful weaponry.
Do you think that Domster clutch was that sort of moment where the balloon animal gets caught in a sharp edge and slowly deflates?
Something like that. I mean, can he? Ooh. Yeah, he's just going to clean up 4 kills for him on the round. And, stacking up those kills. But I mean, that kind of clutch right there is somewhat reminiscent of Canny's clutch at ESL Africa, where he won a 1 versus 4 as well. In some, you know, with some nutty positioning and great aim.
Yeah, I remember that one rather well.
And the problem is, Energy's the kind of team that once they see something like that and they experience something like that, they tend to, you know, get a lot of hype off of that. That really does put the wind behind them. And Goliath, that's not a team you want to be playing once they are G'd up and you know, like ready to take fights with you. So Energy, once again, they've loved this slow take through the apps where all 5 just basically push no real control anywhere else, and Goliath Gaming seem to have cottoned onto it. So this could be Energy running into a meat grinder, but is it the meat grinder of Energy or Goliath? At the moment it seems to be Energy's favor, and Goliath not a whole lot of anything. Black Poison spots the boost. A man so famous for them is not going to leave Deviant to get one up on him.
The most boosted player of 2017, and that's because he was always standing on somebody's shoulders somewhere on a map.
Yeah. Famous for that cobble boost as well. Goals, last remaining player, P250. Sexy one at that, but can he do the damage? He's got Domster to get through, and that is the first seal of the apocalypse for the Energy side right now.
Yeah, of course, Goal's not going to have much of a look in. Yeah, they know where he is, so beyond getting a weapon, not much more that he can do. If you're just joining us, first map taken by Energy in very narrow fashion, actually. Goliath looked like they had control of it for the longest time. And, well, Goals looked like he had control of that situation too. Kenny on 4 HP will take him down. And moving on to this map, Energy have been pretty much in control from the get-go. They looked a bit rusty on the previous map. The rust seems to be shaken off here. Everything working like a well-oiled machine. They're checking the corners correctly as they're hitting the sights. Nothing is being left to chance anymore.
No, it isn't. And I mean, it must be said, Goliath would have had a much better chance, but that clutch going against them really seems to have just killed their momentum at this stage, as Energy looking very, very solid. A lot more confident than you could say they looked on Inferno. And here comes the good old Energy mid-take, as Goals is going to try fight multiple players. That's a bad idea at the best of times, and he goes down to Black Poison.
I think that must be at least the 5th time Goals has died first on his team. You can see he's trying to take the initiative and take first contact, maybe get an early pick, but so far it hasn't really worked out that well for him. And Flexi, the Mirage Master, 6 HP, caught with a nade in the hand and still gets the kill.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we said that this game with Goliath just seemingly unable to get the kills, even though Energy players are at a severe disadvantage. So Energy, once again, they have now full control of mid. One player sitting in the connector area, and he is not going to, he's going to go down to Hackham there, as Massacre's taking fights. He's winning them as well. Takes down Domster. Tuckbook now forced to move out. He's going to catch Nefon, and all of a sudden it's Massacre in a 1v3. Can the young man replicate the heroics of just a few rounds ago? He's going to start it off well. Down goes Flexi. He knows the Tuckbook must be in the middle area. Bomb goes down, and he doesn't have a kit, so time is of the essence. Canny with a cheeky shot, but Canny's giving him way too many opportunities here. Massacre, if he plays this right, could actually win this round. He's going to spot Tuckbook. Both these players within imminent range of a headshot.
Yeah, this is dangerous stuff. Massacre, super dangerous player, but now on the cross, getting caught there by Tuckbook, and Energy playing it super well, making sure they stay passive, don't give him a look in. And Massacre was smart there. He got the early pre-fire on Canny, waiting for that. It is something that Canny does like to do on this map particularly. We've seen him do it so many times in the past, get up on the box there. So cognizant, but not quite enough. And I guess that's what you could say for the half overall for Goliath Gaming. They pretty much knew where Energy were, but they just couldn't stop him.
No, they could not. Goliath just missing easy frags in the end, and those ended up costing them. I think Energy almost always started around with one player up, just consistently able to get those opening frags, and Goliath never able to trade out correctly, as in the end Energy takes an extremely dominant half on that T side, 10-5, and Goliath will be ruining that missed opportunity on the 1v3.
Well, we did say that we felt that Goliath needed to win Inferno to give themselves a chance. It would be a 2-1 win if they were going to win the series, because Mirage is almost mission impossible, and now they are exactly faced with the mission impossible. They lost the first map when it looked like they had it was theirs for the taking, and at this point, if they don't win this pistol round, got to be scared. And in they go. Canny not scared though. Massacre with the reply. Black Poison here on the angle, one of the best pistol players in ESEA, and he's proving why. He hits the first one, goes back for more, and is he going to get him? One bullet left and he gets it.
Yeah, perfect play there from the Energy captain, as Goliath not looking too bad themselves. Hackham's being helped out by his team here. Nefon needs to take this fight against Domster as soon as possible. Both players within headshot range, so right now Goliath's biggest issue is getting that bomb back. If they get that, they can start things. It's a 2 versus 2. Hackham's doing huge work here, as he is well famous for doing. Nefon, though, not going to be close enough to assist, and Domster misses the chance there. Nefon down to 1 HP, but it's still an easy round for... Sorry, an easy kill for Domster if he can hit that shot, as is for Nefon. Domster is going to get another bite of the cherry, misses once again, finally able to take the chance, and they do now know where Hackham is. Lexi's pushing him in from behind, fakes the bomb plant, and forces Hackham to come to him, and in the end, Energy win their 3rd of 4 pistols for the night.
Very patient retake there from Energy as well. You could see none of them taking any chances there. They knew how much time they had. They didn't force the issue too much, and they allowed the round to come towards them as the Goliath players felt more pressured, especially with that low HP. You got to know that Neff was feeling the pressure there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to also just say it really is a pity that Massacre wasn't able to win the fight against Black Poison. I think if Massacre wins that fight, then Black Poison is not able to obviously swing the round with that kill, but also he stays alive slightly longer, and they had much better control of the bomb. So a single kill in that round could have turned it for Goliath Gaming. And unfortunately, just not able to do it. Black Poison on the scout this half to start.
Oh, jeez. That was so fast, the movement. You could see the pre-aim was a little high, and the fast flick and another one, Black Poison, putting on a show here, just wrecking everybody's faces with that, well, I guess you could call it a miniature AWP. It's down now, and Deviant, they're going to try to recover it by the look of it, and maybe get a little bit of pressure going there. Very common boost, and Canny ready for it.
Yeah, probably called by Black Poison as well. Canny just kills off Hackham, and Goliath now in a horrible situation. They did get the bomb down, so we'll be saving this round. Can't expect much from them, as they're going to get a lot more than they bargained for. They actually get Canny. Domster takes a fight at range. That'll drop the bomb and prevent anything from Massacre, as Domster picks up the last one as well. 12-5 for Energy, but Goliath is on the bye.
Yeah, Goliath with one of few chances remaining here to, well, potentially take us to a third map, because of course they did lose the first one, and well, they've looked pretty good with AKs in hand. They've all got very good fundamental aim, and against the buy from Energy, they've got a big opportunity here. Energy deciding to go with the bonus round mentality.
Yeah, I mean, Energy should know the Goliath will almost certainly be buying up in this round. Rush comes out of Goliath, as that's probably the best way to deal with the Energy buy right now. Doms is going to start things off well. Black Poison also chimes in. Doms is somehow able to get two. Will go down now as Deviant picks him up, but huge damage being dealt there, as Black Poison has actually gained control of the bomb.
And
that aggressive play. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh
Black
no.
Poison. So sneaky, gets in behind them. Deviant. Well, 34 HP, he's got an AK to work with, and I think the server's timing out for me. I don't know if it is for you.
It has indeed timed out for me as well, so I'm not quite certain what the hell's going on, but
Well, that's
hopefully
rather
this-
unfortunate. Let's hope it fixes itself. We've had this a couple times with the ESEA this season where it's timed out, so let's hope that the players are okay and the game is continuing as well, or that it'll reset itself, because it'd be rather embarrassing if it doesn't.
yeah, that's not something we want to see.
Well, there we go, timed out. So we will try to fix that. Let's see if we can reconnect to the server. Unfortunate as it is. Let's just see what the current scoreboard is actually showing us. Yeah, because that's probably useful information if we can't watch the actual game. Energy, on the scoreboard, it's giving away things, man. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Are you able to reconnect?
I'm trying to at the moment. It's just not going through.
Well, that's rather unfortunate. See if we can try one or two more things and get back on here. That's rather anticlimactic if it ends this way. Of course, we had the anticlimax yesterday with the other semi-final as well, where the third server's GoTV broke, which kind of left us all high and dry, unfortunately. And I think maybe the GoTV's broken on this server as well, hey?
Oh, dear Lord.
Indeed, yep. Retrying, failing. Okay. But as if I'm looking at the scoreboard here, I'm not sure that we're going to have anything to cast when we go back.
No, there's not going to be much to cast if we can ever get back.
Indeed, that's a bit of a shame. Sorry, guys. Nothing we can really do about it. And the scoreboard on HLTV is no help either. It's completely rebelling against us. So I think that might be our cost for tonight, guys, because, oh, there we go. It is our cost for tonight. Energy actually did win the game. Of course, GoTV is a few rounds behind. So that means if we go and look at the scoreboard, it'll actually be more sort of accurate to what's happening right now. So Energy did actually close the match out. Huge anticlimax. Wah, wah, wah. I'm sorry, guys, but GoTV server relays do break, and it seems with the ESEA they break more often than not.
Yeah, quite annoying that it's 2 in 2 nights now. So Goliath, unfortunately, had a good chance to win the first map. Energy comes back with a storming comeback, and in the end crushes out 16-13. But on the second map, it just doesn't look like Goliath ever really in the races. It is a 16-5 win for the Energy boys here.
Let's look at the stats from the first and the second map quickly while we still got you guys. Yeah, 30 kills on the first map for Black Poison there, 102 ADR. He really took the responsibility on himself in that second half as part of that double AWP, and I think he more than anyone else. I mean, Kenny was a huge contributing factor as well. He did a lot to take that away from them, and if you can see how close it was, Goliath really well poised to take it. If we go over to the second map, the 16-5 obviously much more one-sided and obviously not the full rounds played out either, so that means the kills are not going to be that much for some of the players, so you can't be too down on them. But it's remarkable that Flex got to 21 kills and Black Poison got to 25 in such an abbreviated game. Only 21 rounds played and 132 ADR on Black Poison, 101 on Flexi. They were just going wild.
They definitely were, and I mean, you can see why Goliath Gaming is inclined to ban Mirage first. I mean, I don't think that they're like 16-5 is a brutal scoreline for them, but I think that they are a better team than that. They just don't really play Mirage, so it was unfortunate they had to win the first map in order to take it to Cobble, where I think they would have been even with energy. But unfortunately, this is just not a good look for them on Mirage, and you know that's what happens if you're going to lose your own map pick. It leaves you up to the mercy of a result like this.
Yeah, so we will be covering, of course, the grand final next week. I believe it's Wednesday, but we're trying to get that moved, actually, because it's on the same day as the Valkyrie Challenge. So we'll have to see if we're able to do that. The plan was to do it with the Metal State studio, but of course, if the studio is broadcasting something else, then not possible. So we'll see what we can do on that front. We do appreciate you guys joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, drop a like, subscribe, do all of those nice things that YouTubers always tell you to do. You don't hear it much on Twitch, I guess, but we do appreciate you guys being here. The grand final will be Sinister 5 versus Energy. The first-time finalists, Sinister 5 Energy, been here before, of course. The Young Guns versus the experienced campaigners. Could be really exciting.
That it could. Thanks very much for joining us, guys, and do continue supporting us if you enjoy us.
Cheers, guys.
From here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear.